Hi, welcome to this review. It's been a long time since I last actually filmed anything for my blog, but I think that this time around I have something which might actually interest you. There are various cards. One of them is actually from Japan, and it's called the Hanafuda set, a custom game called Tenzeke, which we'll go about reviewing briefly, and a special deck from China, which uses a different format than what you'd expect. That is not a poker size or a bridge sized deck. Basically, we have four decks. The first one here is this is what I referred to before as the Hanafuda deck. It's a very small deck, most probably meant to be like more portable. This is the Tenzeke custom set. It's based on Mahjong, on the game Mahjong, but it's tailored to be played by two players. It is said on the box that if you buy a second deck, you can shuffle it with this and expand the game to encompass 4 players. This is the Chinese deck. It uses standard European pips, so as you'll be seeing later, you'll actually see the hearts, clubs, diamonds, or what have you. But it's designed along this format, which is a rectangular format with an image that runs through the cards. This is the solitaire deck, which basically is used to play these solitaire type games where you need actually smaller cards, because obviously you're going to have a lot of cards on the table, and so basically you can we have more space to lay your various Klondike or pyramid or what have you. So let's now see them in a bit more detail. So basically here we have the Hanafuda set. To be quite fair, I have not yet discovered or read through a comprehensive game that uses this deck, and I would appreciate if anyone out there knows of a game that can be played with these cards to maybe pass on the information to me. You have my address on the Cardaholic blog website, so I would appreciate any feedback you have about this particular deck. What is so particular about this deck is that it appears to have suits, and you have the recurring theme of the stem repeated throughout, but then obviously you have these, for instance, this kind of red ribbon being displayed on the front, or else you get this kind of swallow. Most probably each has a particular significance within the scope of the game, and you have also like this hog, again, it appears to make part of the same suit because of this plant pattern. Another suit that appears to exist is this kind of, I call it hibiscus, it looks like a hibiscus plant. We have this kind of floral theme, maybe you can see it like that. You have this kind of floral theme, and it repeats itself throughout with slight variations in the motif. I mean, you notice that, for instance, this is just the plant with flowers. Then you have, for instance, again the same notion as before. Like in the first theme, you have, for instance, a bird within the same kind of scenario, and again the ribbon with a saying in most probably Japanese, which obviously I cannot read because I don't know Japanese. It appears to have been created, this is the only thing I do know about this deck, at a time when Western style cards were banned from Japan because of some kind of imperial edict, and basically people still wanted to play cards because everybody likes playing a game of cards, and so they came up with this Hanafuda set to be able to gamble or play or what have you. As I said, if anyone has any indication of how this game can be played, or if you know any rules that might help me find a game to play with these cards, I would very much appreciate it. Now let's go to the next deck. It comes in a twin pack. It's from Piatnik. And what is so particular about this deck is its size. Every card is roughly 1/2 the size of a normal card. Other than that, it's a regular deck with 4 pips. It actually allows you to play an entire game of solitaire in a very confined space. You don't require a large table to spread out your cards and actually have a round of solitaire. Just to give you an idea, this is the size of the cards we're talking about. I mean, they actually fit in your hands very comfortably and they're very, very compact. This here is the Chinese deck I was talking to you about earlier. It uses a different format altogether. It uses this kind of rectangular format, very narrow and very long. And even though it's not very common for us to see cards like these, Chinese money cards, the ancient money cards they used to gamble and play with, had this format. So for them, this is something almost cultural. They accept it, that they find cards that have this kind of rectangular format. For us, it's quite unique because we're used to the bridge size and poker size, which are much wider than these. As you can see from this particular spread I put out for you over here, is that in each suit you have a long painting which is actually spread out throughout the suit. Here I actually spread from 2 to 8, but it keeps going till ace, and ace is positioned after the king. So that's it, that's the Chinese deck. And now we can proceed to the final deck I have for you today, which is the Tianzeke custom deck, and we'll basically close with that deck. Okay, so this is the Tianzeke deck. It is a 54 card deck, divided into wins, 3 of each, 3 dragon cards, 3 Tianzeke cards, which actually act as a kind of a wild card, 4 suits of number cards from 1 to 9, distinguished not by having a different suit, but actually by having different color codes at the top. You have blue, you have white, you have red, you have green. From what I gather is basically you have to play towards putting together five sets of 3, and the first person who does that wins the game. It's a 2-player game, as I said before, but as I also said earlier, the game actually says that if I buy a second deck, I can actually extend the game to accommodate 4 players, etc. I would definitely recommend immediately buying at least 2 decks, so that you can have at least 4 players at the table playing this game, and therefore hopefully increasing the fun.